Still tracking a few showers out there tonight. Now, a lot of that will go to the wayside and hang out more so in eastern Kentucky early tomorrow. But we have more chances this week. I'll track it in here coming up.
That was so much moisture. We feel like it just so much weight. It weakened the wall and it could go nowhere but out.
Heavy rain causes a mess outside a central Kentucky family's home.
Why Lexington police are turning to Spanish language radio and newspapers as they search for the person who shot a 9-year-old boy.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good evening to you, and thank goodness for many of us the rain has finally tapered off, but it drenched the bluegrass for most of the day.
And the flood threat continues tonight, and fog could be a problem as well. We begin tonight with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. He shows us what he's tracking on the First Alert Defender. Thank goodness for at least a break for a while.
Yeah, and we definitely needed it. What we need is an extended period of sunshine and about 65, 70 degrees, but that is not going to happen. We will get those temperatures, but the rain will be pretty close. Tonight on Defender, we're tracking some of those showers in southeastern Kentucky mainly. So you go south of 64 and east of 75. That's where you're going to find that main action. And again, it's not a tremendous amount of water, but they're certainly dealing with some more showers there down the Mountain Parkway and also back down into southern Kentucky as well. We have the flood watch that runs through tomorrow evening out there for all of these counties highlighted in green. Still quite a few of them thrown into the mix, because they received a lot of water as well, and they had a lot from the last system. Dense fog advisory now showing up here in parts of central Kentucky. Lexington right in the middle of all of that as well. Visibilities will continue to decrease overnight tonight, even out in eastern Kentucky. Once that rain winds down, you'll start getting in on some of those low visibilities. We're talking less than a mile, maybe around a quarter of a mile or less here in Lexington during the morning commute. So you factor in the fog, wet roads, and we've got a nasty go tomorrow morning. So that's the immediate issue tonight. We'll track the potential for more heavy rain later this week, coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Jim. All this rain sent some creeks and streams rushing over roads in Montgomery County today.
Those roads are in much better shape tonight, but the rain combined with heavy snow last week also caused some damage. As Jordan Valines tells us, one couple now has a mess to clean up outside their home. She continues our First Alert Weather Team coverage.
Back in January, Earl Spencer first noticed the problems forming on his blacktop.
And this was all cracking and all that. Again, we thought nothing of it.
That was from a little rain. This?
Yeah, a lot of cleaning up.
Was from a lot.
It has just rained and rained and rained. So what do you expect to happen? I mean, something has to fall apart.
And on Tuesday morning?
And of course, more rain, more snow and all this. And then all of a sudden,
rain wasn't the only thing that fell.
And my wife comes running down the stairs. And she says, oh my goodness, and so she comes out. Well, we both come out, and sure enough, the whole thing had collapsed.
The weight from the recent snow and rain proved too much for the retaining wall to support.
I'm surprised as long as it did. We had no clue how the thing was built until it came down.
That wall, along with everything it was meant to retain, now spilling into the yard next door.
We need to just clean everything up and get it all nice and tucked back in there, make sure there's nothing loose, and then secure it with rebar, that sort of thing.
A project that comes with a hefty price tag.
A couple $1,000s worth of repairs.
But Spencer is looking at the bright side.
We were hoping this summer to put a new fence around, and I think that dream is going to come true. It's going to have to be put up.
Trying to make the best out of this unexpected project.
This is on me now, so this is a great spring project, right?
In Montgomery County, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
That is one way to look at it. Spencer expects that it will take several weeks until the retaining wall can be fully repaired.
Some recreational areas in the Daniel Boone National Forest have been closed because of high water. Many boat ramps, campgrounds, and roads around Cave Run Lake in Rowan County are now flooded. Forestry leaders say it's bad timing because March is usually the start of the busy season for tourism. But they say some parts of the Cave Run Lake area are just too dangerous for visitors right now.
You don't want to drive through standing water. You don't know how deep it is, how fast it might be flowing. There's debris floating in the water right now, whether it's logs or trash or whatever. So just a lot of potential obstacles out there.
Parts of the Daniel Boone National Forest are still open. Forestry leaders say give them a call first before you travel. Water problems continue in parts of Estill County tonight. County leaders say about 500 people still do not have water service. That's down from about 2,000 yesterday. They say homes in the Millers Creek, Fitchburg, and Cobb Hill areas may be without water service the longest because of a broken water line. The entire county is still under a boil water advisory.
Tonight, road crews are still trying to figure out how to repair a major road in Lee County damaged by heavy rain. Highway 52 is closed in both directions just east of Beattyville because the road buckled. Transportation leaders say about 2,200 drivers normally drive on that stretch of road every day, but at this point, they aren't sure how long it will take to fix the road.
We are in the process of developing plans. We're in the process of trying to secure funding. It won't be a quick fix, it won't be an easy fix, and it won't be a cheap fix.
For now, drivers are having to use Highway 11 or Highway 30 as a detour, but both roads take drivers about 15 to 20 minutes out of the way. Here is an example of why you should not try to drive across a flooded road. The Grant County Sheriff's Office took these eyewitness pictures of a water rescue today. Police and firefighters had to rescue someone who tried to drive across a road covered in high water. This happened off Turner Road near Williamstown. If you have eyewitness pictures, we'd like to see them. Just look for the eyewitness section on WKYT.com or post them to our Facebook page.
They don't want a language barrier to get in the way of solving a crime. Tonight, Lexington police are still looking for a man they say shot a 9-year-old boy as he was riding in a car with his family. Now police are reaching out to Lexington's Spanish-speaking community, hoping to find some new clues. Garrett Weimer explains.
Several days after the shooting here, the suspect still remains only a sketch.
It's a family very hurt. It's a 9-year-old kid that is in the hospital at this moment. And the community has to come forward.
Andres Cruz runs the bilingual newspaper The Voice of Kentucky. He says along with Radio Vida, they've teamed up with police and taken to social media, appealing to the Hispanic community for clues to lead them to the suspect.
The main issue we got is the language barrier when you're dealing with an young immigrant community. So I think we somehow work in the function of being a bridge of communication.
Cruz says it's not just the language barrier, but also a trust issue that could keep from coming forward those in the Hispanic and immigrant communities who might know what happened here, or at least know who did it.
That's being well known in the community. Maybe we're a good bridge for people to come out and maybe speak direct to us or the police department.
Cruz says they plan to put copies of the sketches and pictures of the car in stores and restaurants, saying someone in the community there has to know something.
This is not about it's a Hispanic baby or a Hispanic suspect. It's about our community being victimized by an absolutely responsible act of an individual.
In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Cruz says part of people's concern with coming forward is their immigration documentation, and that's why he's working so hard to let people know any tips they give will be confidential. Tonight, we're also tracking the investigation into a fire that damaged the Lexington home. It started about 9:30 along Transylvania Park near the UK campus. Firefighters say no one was home at the time and no one was injured. They think the fire started in a small bathroom, and they were able to keep the fire from spreading too far. At this point, they're not sure what caused the fire.
Tonight, the newly released WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass Poll looked at the race for Kentucky governor. Last week, Survey USA talked to more than 2,200 adults for the poll. On the Republican side, former Louisville Metro Council member Hal Heiner is in the lead with 28%. Kentucky Agriculture Secretary James Comer and Louisville businessman Matt Bevin are tied for second, with former State Supreme Court Justice Will T. Scott trailing behind. But 1 in 4 Republicans surveyed remain undecided. For the Democrats, Attorney General Jack Conway has a commanding lead over retired engineer Jeff Young.
It was the top-selling song back in 2013, but today a California jury ruled Blurred Lines infringed on the copyright of a classic Marvin Gaye song.
And the jury awarded Gaye's family millions of dollars. Danielle Nottingham has reaction to the verdict, new at 11.
The jury ruled the song Blurred Lines clearly copied Marvin Gaye's classic Got to Give It Up. For Pharrell Williams claimed he wrote the 2013 song with Robin Thicke and T.I., but the jury didn't buy it, awarding Gay's family nearly $7.4 million. Gay's daughter said she and her brothers went to court to preserve their father's legacy.
There was nothing else to do but stand up for him, stand up for his music.
Williams testified he composed most of Blurred Lines, which was the biggest hit song in 2013. The Grammy-winning singer acknowledged similarities to Gay's song, but denied he intentionally copied it.
Nothing detracts from the fact, as we know it, that the song Blurred Lines came from the heart and soul of Pharrell Williams and no one else.
During the 2-week trial, the 8 jurors heard detailed comparisons of the two songs, examining their notes and chords.
This was about the copying of melody, of harmony.
Blurred Lines generated more than $16 million in profit. While the Gays say they're happy with the jury's decision, they probably won't see any money while the case is appealed. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A spokesperson for Williams said the musician respects the judicial process, but he thinks the ruling sets a horrible precedent for music and creativity going forward.
After days of silence, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton speaking out about using a private email account while in office. She claimed that no classified material was sent on her personal account and no government rules were broken. Clinton says that she's handed over about 30,000 work-related emails and had no reason to save personal emails.
Looking back, it would have been probably, smarter to have used 2 devices, but I have absolute confidence that everything that could be in any way connected to work is now in the possession of the State Department.
Republicans have made it clear the email issue will not fade away soon. The chairman of the Republican National Committee called Clinton's comments, quote, disingenuous. The State Department says the emails will be published online after they're reviewed.
Police have arrested a man they say duct taped his ex-wife and drew obscene pictures on her body. Georgetown police charged 29-year-old Zachary Shelton with kidnapping and assault. The victim says she was at Shelton's home Sunday night to visit the couple's son, but she claims Shelton duct taped her feet and hands together. She also claims Shelton had their son draw on her back. Shelton told police he did duct tape the victim, but it was all in fun and he didn't have any ill intent.
Eastern Kentucky University receiving some national recognition tonight. Military Times Magazine has ranked EKU 3rd nationally in its list of the best business schools for veterans. EKU was the only Kentucky school in the top 25. The rankings consider cost in the context of military and veteran benefits and overall veteran policies, among other factors. So